if all of these claims are true, this really is the set of pencils that we've all been waiting for. Hi everyone and welcome back. Okay, so this is the big one. This is the one that all graphite artists have been waiting for. This is the new set of pencils from Faber Castell, the Pitt Graphite Matte pencils. Now Faber Castell claim that these pencils are matte finish, so they won't shine and they won't glare. And they claim it's a world first, and they have a world's first 14B pencil in this case. And when I got this, it did come with this cellophane wrapper on it, and it had the sticker on it that said world first. And I've been on the website and read the same claims as well. So this is going to be really interesting, because if all of these claims are true, this really is the set of pencils that we've all been waiting for. But the big question is it true? Are these claims just false marketing, or are these really matte pencils? Now, in all fairness to Faber Castell, on their website they did say a reduced glare. They didn't say 100% reduced glare, but to me matte does imply that. But like I say, in all fairness, on the website they do claim it's a reduced glare. Now personally for me, I've never been bothered at all with graphite shine. It's one of those things I've been used to for over 30 years of drawing, and I've always had a little bit of a joke with artists that say you know, they don't like the graphite shine. I always say that saying you don't like graphite because it shines is like saying you don't like water because it's wet. You know, basically it is what it is. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these perform, because one set of pencils I've been used to in the past are these. The Staedtler Mars Lumograph Black. Now those pencils I bought several years ago, and I've also done a review of these on YouTube, and instantly when I saw these pencils on the market and the claims that they were making, I instantly thought, oh yes, this will be Faber Castell's version of the Mars Lumograph Black. And I wasn't really interested in buying them, but I've had a couple of comments actually on my YouTube channels. People have said, have you tried the new Faber Castell matte pencils yet? And I said, no, well, you know, I've heard of them. And then somebody else said, oh, you've got to try them. They've got a 14B in there. They're really good. So I thought, okay, let's give them a go. And we'll compare them to the Mars Lumograph Black, because I honestly think that that's what these are going to be. It'd be really nice if they weren't. Not to say that there's anything bad about the Mars Lumograph Black, but you know, it's just two products the same there. It would really be nice if these were genuine graphite pencils that were matte, whereas these are graphite and carbon mixed together, which is what gives them their dark sort of matte look. And they can look a little bit odd alongside regular graphites in regular graphite drawings. I was very excited to get these when I first got them, but after actually using them with graphite, they work okay with graphite. You know, it's not like they don't work, they do, but because of their sort of matte black kind of charcoaly look compared to the kind of greyer tones, shinier grey tones of graphite, it can look like two different mediums in a drawing, you know, when you're using these. So you've kind of got to use these in the right place in your drawing, you know, to get the right results. I'll just put these to one side for a minute, and we'll just take a quick look at what we actually get in the tin before we use them. Well, first of all, I mean, the tin itself is, you know, if you've ever had any Faber Castell products before, you always get a nice tin, you know, to store all your stuff in. So first of all, we've got the leaflet there in several languages, and it'll tell you all about these pencils and what we're going to have a look at now. Straight away I was impressed that we got a real metal, I think it's magnesium or aluminium pencil sharpener. They're usually in sets like this, you get like a cheap plastic one. Really nice to see a metal one. a Faber Castell PVC eraser and a Faber Castell blending stump. So we've got a range of 8 pencils in there. We've got an HB, a 2B, a 4B, a 6B, an 8B, a 10B, a 12B, and yes, the one you've all been waiting for, the world's first, a 14B. But I'm not going to hype it up because, like I say, this could end up being just like one of the Mars Lumograph blacks. Now, when you get these, they come with like a factory sharpened point, which is quite short and it's kind of flat on one end. I've just quickly run these through my pencil sharpener, so I've got a point that I'm more used to working with there. I think what we need to do is get some paper out, give these a swatch, and let's see what they can do. Okay, so I've got a Derwent sketch pad here. I've purposely chose this paper because there's just a slight bit of grain on it. It's a little bit coarser than my usual Daily Rowney smooth heavyweight paper. So this will be a good test for the point retention, because if we start getting a lot of grain texture showing through, it means the pencils are wearing away on a flat edge fairly quickly. And that's not particularly a good thing. But I'm not expecting brilliant point retention with these because they're quite a soft set of pencils there. So let's give them a try. Okay, so first up we've got the HB. Now if I do 2 swatches of each pencil, one that's just a very light to sort of medium pressure, like that, and then right next to it I'll go in with sort of a nice firm pressure. Not that hard that it's kind of flattening the grain, but hard enough to get the maximum tone out of the pencil. In fact, I'll go over this twice so you can really see how dark and how matte as well these pencils are, because the more you lay on, the more you press, the more likely you are to get shine. I'm not expecting any shine from this, but from these, if there is any shine, that's where we'll get it. Okay, so that's the HB. 2B. And here we go, the one you've all been waiting for, the 14B. So is this just another carbon pencil? Let's find out. It does feel like it's got carbon in it, but on the other hand it does feel more like a graphite pencil than the Staedtlers. It really does feel like a graphite pencil. So there we go, that's all of them swatched out. Now what I'm going to do is just tilt these in the light a little bit and let's see if there's any glare or shine. There's a little bit, but not much at all. So there is a little bit of glare, but that certainly is, as Faber Castell claim, very, very reduced indeed. In fact, if I swatch out next to them a regular set of Faber Castell 9000s and we see how much they shine compared to these, and that'll really give us a good idea of actually how matte these actually are. Now I've only got up to an 8B with the regular pencils, so we can only go that far. So if we start with an HB, and I'll do exactly the same again, a light pressure and a really firm pressure, and that way we can compare the tonal qualities as well. Okay, so even as I was swatching those out, you can see that the angle that I've got on my paper and the angle that the light's hitting it, we're getting a lot of shine there. So I think that's pretty conclusive there. These definitely have a greatly reduced shine or glare on there compared to regular graphite. Really obvious to see, that is. Now then, as I was swatching them out, I could feel that these were not at all like the Staedtler Mars Lumograph Black. These really do feel like graphite pencils. They feel a little bit softer, and the point retention's okay, but it's not what I'd call brilliant. It's not like these, for example. And if I get this nice and close for you here, you might be able to see that this side here has picked up quite a bit of grain texture there, whereas this side, the regular graphite, is not quite so bad. And you can see there, although that's the 14B, it looks lighter than 12B. That's because it's not getting into the grain properly. I really needed to go over that with another layer. But the 14B is pretty black there. If I try and get a shine to come on that, you can't really see a shine on it, can you? Just a little bit of a glare on the bottom three there. Well, bottom three, all of them have a very slight glare, but yeah, I'm very impressed indeed. Now, although they do feel like graphite, to me they definitely have got some sort of carbon mixed in, or some sort of dye or something mixed in with the graphite there. They don't feel 100%, you know, like a regular graphite pencil. They do feel a little bit carbonish. You know, there's a little bit of something in them. So that kind of indicates to me that there could be issues with blending and erasing. So I think we need to test that. So if I get a clean cotton swab, and we'll start with the HB, because that's probably going to have the less amount of carbon in there. Well, it kind of blends. If I turn the cotton swab over to the regular HB, you can see that that blends a lot more. I can move a lot more graphite from that into the clean white paper next to it. But that's not bad at all though. That's very good. I mean, it's really not that far from the regular graphite. If I just press a bit harder and try and move a little bit more of it, that really is very good actually. So if we come down to, let's say, the 6B now, and we blend that, again it seems to blend nicely. And we'll come over to the regular graphite. It does blend more. The regular graphite definitely blends a lot easier and a lot more. And this does blend, but not quite so much. Let's see about the 14B. Well, that blends quite well actually. Let's try the 10B. Yeah, they're not bad at all. Not bad at all. So they do blend really quite well. Very similar to regular graphite. I mean, I'm kind of saying or implying that they're not regular graphite. They obviously are. You know, there's obviously regular graphite in there, but there was a little bit of something in there with them as well, and you can tell that. So let's try and erase them. Let's see what sort of results we get. So if I erase half of each one out, so that's the HB there and the HB there, there's a clear difference. These must have carbon in them, because carbon doesn't erase very well at all. I'm sorry, I've got glare there, haven't I? If I just hold that up. you can see a lot more ghosting there compared to that. Let's try the 6B. That's pretty similar actually. Let's just try the 2B. Yeah, I would definitely say that the regular graphite erases cleaner than the matte pencils, but these do erase really well, considering, you know, there's probably a little bit of carbon or a little bit of dye or something mixed in with the graphite there. I suppose we've got to try the 14B, haven't we, to see if that'll erase. It kind of does. I mean, it's, you know, the worst of it's coming off, but we've still got really heavy ghosting there at the back. If we try that where we just press light with the pencil, try and erase half of that. Still not really that much better, but you know, it doesn't really matter whether it's the matte pencils or regular pencils. When you start getting into these really dark tones, you know, you're always going to get some ghosting happening there. You're never going to get back to clean white paper. Now off camera, I've had a little go with them in my sketchbook, just doing a few little doodles and things like that. Haven't actually done a full-on drawing yet, so I guess really we can't call this a review. It's just a quick sort of introduction and overview of the set. This is a 6B, by the way, but I'll certainly be doing a full-on drawing with these actually, because that's the way that we're really going to get to know these pencils and to actually see you know, just how they look in a, you know, a finished overall drawing that's kind of polished and blended and erased and toned and everything. I'm just kind of just doodling now, just, you know, varying the pressure with these pencils as well. It kind of produces varying tones, whereas some pencils, when they have a lot of carbon in them, varying the pressure doesn't really have that much effect. It's kind of black or black. You know, you have got shades of grey with these, and I'd never normally blend with my finger actually, but just for a test it's okay. So you can get varying tones, you can layer them, and one thing I have noticed with these as well, although this paper's a little bit coarse, the graphite lays down really evenly. Hardly any pencil lines in it at all. It's a really nice sort of feel to the pencil, you know, as it's working on the paper. It's not ultra soft and ultra slippy, there's a little bit of bite there, which is nice. I'd rather have that than a super slippy, soft sort of pencil with no point retention on it at all, and you know the ones. I like a little bit of feedback from the pencil, and that little bit of bite that the pencil's got on the paper is going to be really nice to work with, for me personally. You might prefer the super slick, you know, pencils, but not me. I like a little bit of feedback, a little bit of bite with the paper. I think that's nice. And you know, you press hard, it's the same pencil, and you can get some really dark tones. Super dark tones. Hardly any glare on it at all. pencil on the side, you're obviously going to pick up a lot of grain texture there. But look how even that is. Something about this graphite that is just very even with the lay down on the paper. Absolutely beautiful stuff to work with. It really is lovely. Lovely and even. Look at that. Hardly a pencil mark in it, and I'm not even trying. You know, I'm not even trying, I'm just laying the pencil on the paper and just shading with it. You know, if I was to use a regular graphite pencil, it's nice and even as well, but every now and again, sometimes you can pick up an overlap. You can see an overlap forming here, look. And you'll probably see that more if I shade with the point and then I overlap that like that. You can see a darker spot where the graphite overlaps. This is just a regular 9000 pencil, so you can kind of faintly see those overlaps there. But with these pencils you don't seem to get too much in the way of overlaps. They just seem to kind of blend themselves out, if that makes sense. You can see a little bit of overlap there, but not as much as that. There's something very even about these, which is different to graphite, regular graphite. So that's a real, an absolutely pleasant surprise there that we haven't just got a repeat of the Staedtler Mars Black. And I guess really, if I get the 8B of that, you can kind of see that's picking up a lot of grain. Looks more like a black wax pencil, coloured pencil, compared to the 8B of the Faber Castell range. I mean, this really does look like graphite, you know, compared to that. Okay, it's not as dark, but that's not the point of these pencils. The point of these pencils is to be matte. And I do like the grading of these. I think they follow through fairly nicely. They're a little bit close. Some of them are a little bit close, particularly when you really scribble down hard to get the blacks. They're all very much the same when you start getting into just the 8B, 10B, 12B, 14B. But you can see a gradation in them, as you'd expect from Faber Castell. I mean, they're a quality company. I love their pencils. I really do. In fact, I'm a little bit of a Faber Castell fanboy, actually. But I'm trying not to be biased at all by these pencils, because obviously I've got to do a full-on drawing with these, and that's really going to show their strengths and expose their weaknesses. So just these little doodles here aren't really telling us that much, but they're just giving you a little idea of what they're actually like, and if they're any good, and if there's any problems with them straight off the bat, you know, which clearly there isn't. I can't find any problems with them. So like I say, I've done a few little sketches. This isn't all I've done with them. I have done a few little sketches with them to give them a bit of a test, and I'm more than happy to go ahead with these and you know, use them in a full-on drawing. In fact, I can't wait. I think they're going to be really good. So there we go, world's first. Well, yes, they are. They are, aren't they? I mean, I haven't seen a graphite pencil that doesn't shine. So this for me is a first. I haven't seen any other pencil like it. You know, these are the closest thing to it, but on the other hand, these are closer to a carbon pencil than they are a graphite pencil. So it's really, really nice to have something that you can actually work into your regular graphite drawings, or just use these on their own and create something that looks like a regular graphite drawing, because you've got the subtlety of tone with these. You can vary the pressure on the pencil, you know, and get sort of light to dark tones. I mean, for what's this, an 8B, very light pressure, I can get some lovely light tones all the way up to that. You know, they're quite versatile pencils. And they're also a bonded lead as well, which means the leads are kind of glued in to the wood casing. So if you drop them on your desk or on a hard surface, they're not, you know, the lead's not going to shatter inside, because that's a common problem. You know, how many times have you gone to sharpen your pencil and the lead just pulls out? So you sharpen it again and the lead just pulls out. What's happened is your lead is fractured all the way up, probably because you've dropped it on your desk, dropped it on the floor, or something like that, and the lead's broke inside the wood case. Even if that happens, because this lead is glued inside there, the lead's not going to fall out. Even if it's broke, it's not going to fall out. It's going to stay in there every time you sharpen it, and that's always a good thing. So there we go. Faber Castell Pitt matte graphite pencils. Lovely little set. It's even a nice set to put in a sketch bag or something like that, or your rucksack when you're going out sketching. You've got everything you need there. Haven't tested the eraser or the blender or the pencil sharpener. We kind of know what they're going to do. You know, it's pointless testing them when we've got a world's first here with new pencils. But like I say, watch this space, because very shortly I'll be doing a full-on drawing with these, and we'll really see what results we can get. Okay, so I'll leave links in the description below for these, so you can go and check them out. I'll put some affiliate links there as well to Amazon. And also, if you're interested in drawing lessons, painting lessons, I have a Patreon channel. I'll leave a link for that in the description below and in the in-screen cards as well. If you have a quick look through my YouTube channel, you'll kind of see the sort of work that I do there, and if that's for you, you'll be more than welcome to join Patreon. It'd be great to see you over there. Okay, so if this video was helpful to you, or you like this video, would really appreciate a thumbs up, and thanks very much for viewing, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.